Leave it to me! Alright. Powering up! Use the powering up! Activating! Come on, let's go! I know! Activating! I can win this! Let's go! All right. See? Hey! I know! Hey! Top! Took you down. Let's go. All right. Hey! Ha! Home run! Took you down. Whoa! Victory! Leveled up. I managed to kill it.
Are you all right?
A little bruised is all.
Forgive me. It's all my fault.
No, I'm just glad you're safe.
Oh, you are far more heroic than you look. Allow me to extend my gratitude by tending to those wounds of yours.
I would appreciate that. I'm feeling a lot better now. Thank you.
On the contrary, I should be the one thanking you for saving me. Pardon me, I haven't yet introduced myself. My name is Rook. As you have likely gathered by now, I am a traveling merchant by trade.
Nice to meet you. I'm Sheena, an adventurer.
A pleasure. Lately, martyrs have been taking to crowding these trails, making it impossible for me to sell my wares in peace.
What's a martyr?
Oh, haven't you heard?
Well, you see, I actually just woke up a few moments ago with no recollection of how I got there. My memory's fuzzy.
What? Oh, how awful. Martyrs are monsters that have been touched by the kiss of madness. Yes, for a few months now, reports of monsters attacking people have been increasing to a frightening degree.
What? Did you say a few months? How did I not remember any of this?
Much has changed in the last year. Do you really remember nothing?
Not a thing.
Not even what you ate yesterday?
Nope.
Most unfortunate.
Well, I can't let it bring me down. Things will turn up sooner or later.
What makes you say that?
My mother always told me that someone up there is watching out for me.
I see. Your mother sounds like a devout woman. Surely our Lord will shine upon you with his blessings. Amnesia is nothing to scoff at. I can imagine how confusing all of this must be, so I will try to help you in the meantime.
Then, would you mind catching me up on everything I've missed?
Well, you needn't burden yourself with the sad tale of this fallen world. Some things are better left unsaid.
I want to know it all. Please, tell me.
Very well, then. Allow me to tell you about the Entoma Scourge. 1 year ago, the world as we had known it ceased to exist. On that fateful day, a terrifying beast came down from the heavens and unleashed catastrophe across the entire country.
What? What do you mean? What's an Entoma?
The Entoma was a curse from the gods, a living, breathing embodiment of atrocity, brought to life by the despicable sins committed by our people. Vanity and greed became the gospels of our time. The rich became richer, and the poor became poorer. Soon, it seemed people had forgotten how to love. In no time at all, the thin fabric holding friends and family together was torn asunder. Constant threats of war and invasion gave corrupt nobles the chance to tax every cent from out of their subjects' pockets. Desperation birthed from a widening gap betwixt the rich and poor. Thievery and violence became commonplace. Lives lost over loaves of bread. The nobility cackled atop their high towers, taking pleasure in watching their subjects turn on one another while they sipped their wine. The notion of salvation became a fool's currency. Eventually, the destitute and starving citizens had reached a point of no return. One by one, they fell to their knees onto the ragged earth, begging for death as mercy from their constant suffering. Memories of our vibrant past were tossed into the graves of those brave enough to remember them. That is, until the scourge had ripped the heavens in half without warning. It cut through the sky like steel through flesh, flattened our mountain ranges, and ruined our forests and seas with a divine rainbow light. The beast itself had later become known as Heaven's Messenger, striking fear into the hearts of those unlucky enough to cross its path. Furious with our people's disregard for life, God saw fit to punish us without warning. We had no choice but to accept.
Heaven's messenger? Divine punishment?
Within 10 days, the beast destroyed not only Hardis, but each of the surrounding kingdoms as well. Mankind was beside itself, without recourse or any chance of retaliation. Men, women, and children were being killed, left and right. Just when we thought that all hope was lost, our long-awaited salvation had finally arrived. The monster's body had suddenly frozen and shattered into pieces.
What happened to it?
That I do not know. All we know for certain is the monster's shattered fragments rained down upon our world, leaving little behind save for its terrible memory in our minds. Spared from their accursed tyranny, the people celebrated in the streets.
So there are survivors aside from us.
Yes, although few and far between. Some of them still live in small enclaves. However, the fact that you lack any recollection of this event means you were asleep, not for a few months, but for over a year.
I have no idea how I lost my memory, so I'll just have to fill in the blanks somehow. I appreciate you taking the time to recount what I've missed. Seems like I've got a lot of catching up to do.
Ah, you impress me. It's rare to find someone whose nose is still pointed towards the future. Sheena, there's a bit more to this story. Many who survived the calamity experienced a strange emotional shift, proclaiming to dedicate their lives to piety. People had interpreted their salvation as a miracle, and thus were eager to pay it forth to prevent another monster from appearing. As of a few months ago, however, this ended with a few alarming consequences.
How so?
An event known as the Mass Consternation. Odd, unexplainable happenings popping up out of nowhere. In one instance, a man had evaporated like smoke in his own bedroom. A woman claimed to see God's light before slitting her own throat.
What?
I heard of one village that committed a mass suicide by drowning, jumping into the ocean like a pack of rats from a sinking ship.
Why would they do such a thing?
I don't know. It was as if they were martyrs, suffering for the sake of avoiding retribution. It was around this time that monsters started to appear yet again, igniting fear into those who had survived to remember their ghastly deeds. Eventually, people began suspecting that the souls of these recently departed martyrs learned how to inhabit the bodies of monsters.